All right, Larry Krueger here at Levi's Stadium with your Pig in a Pickle 49er video. Check out Pig in a Pickle, 2 locations, Emeryville and Corte Madera. They're open 7 days a week in both spots from 11 a.m. till 8 p.m. or until they run out. Pig in a Pickle, the best barbecue in all of Northern California. Well, story of the day down here for sure is that Brock Purdy is in the concussion protocol, and his status for Week 8 against the Bengals is very much in doubt. Now, the NFL has changed the protocol from last year to this year. It's more stringent. It's very difficult to escape that protocol, especially on a short week. So you may see Sam Darnold Sunday against the Bengals at Levi's Stadium, and the 49ers have lost 2 straight and badly need a win. Now, I asked Kyle Shanahan minutes ago where he hurt, where he suffered the concussion. He didn't know. I would venture a guess that it was during the multiple quarterback sneaks that Brock Purdy, had in this game. They went back-to-back quarterback sneak, and my guess is he probably was concussed on one of those quarterback sneaks. Now, the next throw after that was not a great throw looking back at the game, so I kind of wonder if maybe he was concussed on one of those 2 quarterback sneaks. That's something, to at least keep in mind. Then you start thinking about the way the last game finished, with Brock completing almost 85% of his passes in the first 3 quarters and then throwing 2 picks late. You wonder, no excuses, and Brock and the 49ers would never make any, but you wonder about the status of his head at the end of that game and how clearly he was thinking. So, but there's the story here in Santa Clara. Brock Purdy in the concussion protocol, and his status for Sunday very much up in the air. Now, the good news for the 49ers is they probably have the best backup quarterback in the entire league in Sam Darnold. I mean, that's why you signed Sam Darnold, because you wanted to make sure that you had a very good backup, because basically every single team in the league is going to have to use their backup quarterback to win a game at some point over the course of a 17-game season over 18 weeks. So this very well could be the game that Sam Darnold has to win. So we'll find out. I mean, it's a short week. Niners played on Monday. It's already Wednesday. The players are practicing today. They're practicing with helmets on. Purdy will not be doing that. They're going through like a walkthrough. I'm not sure how much or how little he'll be able to do in the concussion protocol. Obviously, he's going to be able to do all the mental reps and all the meetings and all the film work and all that stuff that goes into mentally preparing yourself to play on Sunday. As far as the physical grind of it and how much he'll be able to do and how much he won't be able to do, that at this point is very much up in the air. So all we really know is that he's in the protocol. We'll get updates, I'm sure, every day this week on his status for Sunday. But I think at this point, when you look at how few players off a short week escape that concussion protocol in time to play the next week, it's a very difficult thing to do. And there's a number of tests that he'll have to pass to make sure that he's, on schedule to play against the Bengals. I got the feeling from listening to Shanahan that he expected Purdy to play on Sunday against the Bengals, but then talking to some of the other media people in the locker room just minutes ago, many of them expect him not to play and think that we're going to see Sam Darnold on Sunday against the Bengals. So this is obviously the biggest story in 49er land immediately. There were some other stories today to keep track of. Debo didn't practice. Trent Williams didn't practice. Greenlaw got a Veterans Day off. So Greenlaw never really practices on Wednesdays anymore. He's a game day player, and he endures so much physical punishment to his body that they almost always give him Wednesday off. So that was the situation there. The other major story down here was that Kyle Shanahan said the other day that they would have to talk about the decision that Steve Wilks made to go with the 6-man pressure, the all-out blitz, leave his guys in single coverage with 16 seconds left in that second quarter. We're going to talk to Wilks tomorrow, but Shanahan basically came out today and just admitted that they already had the conversation and that Wilks messed that up. that he's not against an all-out blitz, but he's against an all-out blitz in that particular situation with 16 seconds on the clock and the opposing team backed up on their own 40-yard line. You'll give away the field goal there if you have to, but you don't want to give away 6. And to take that kind of, once again, I mean, I talked about it in the post game. We talked about it a lot. Risk reward. That's really what it's about. And the risk was too great for the reward there. It wasn't like if they got a first down, they could ice the game time-wise. This is a second quarter. There wasn't like there was no field to cover. There was a ton of field to cover. So, the all-out blitz has its effectiveness, and there is a time and a place for the all-out blitz. And it kind of also shows the autonomy that Niner defensive coordinators have had here under Kyle Shanahan. It sounded like he didn't like that call and wouldn't have endorsed the call if he had been on those headsets. But he gave D'Amico autonomy, he gave Saleh autonomy, he's giving Wilkes autonomy, and they'll evaluate it afterwards, like this week. But it sounds like in real time, Shanahan is just going with his defensive coordinator's calls, and they'll figure it out after the game if they don't like what they saw. But for Shanahan to come out just straight out and say, yeah, Steve knows that he messed up that call, that means that the discussion's been had, and they don't want to see that. And I mean, I could have told you that in the post game. The risk reward made no sense there. Made absolutely no sense. And then not only was it the wrong call, it was played the wrong way by Mooney Ward. The interception there only helps your individual stats. Really, all you care about is the incompletion. You're at the end of the half, and to gamble and go all out for the pick and to allow the receiver to go to the end zone for 6, inexcusable on Mooney's part as well. So, inexcusable call by Wilkes. Inexcusable the way he played it by Ward. And when you have 2 inexcusable mistakes right there, it could amount to 6. And in this game, that was, that cost him the ball game. So that was a very costly thing. So very interesting. Talking to Aaron Banks in the locker room, he thought Jalen Moore, who plays on, Banks plays left guard, Moore plays left tackle, or played left tackle against the Vikings, that Moore stood up. And, Banks was saying, hey, look, we got total confidence in the backups to step in and play. And I don't know that the fans had as much confidence in Jalen Moore as the players did. But, the Niners lost to the Vikings, but it wasn't because of Danielle Hunter. And the Niners lost to the Vikings, and it wasn't because of Jalen Moore and the job that he did filling in for Trent Williams. So, once again, to recap, the 2 big stories down here: Brock Purdy in concussion protocol, his status very much up in the air for Sunday against the Bengals. Do not be surprised if you see Sam Darnold starting that game, the final game before the bye week. And Kyle Shanahan admitted that, he's talked to Steve Wilkes, and Wilkes has admitted that play call at the end of the second quarter was a gaffe, a mistake, and obviously, there's no ambiguity in that. All right, thanks to Pig in a Pickle for being the title sponsor of The Krug Show. Thanks to all you guys for supporting The Krug Show on YouTube.